What's up, guys? It's Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all having a great Thursday. Before we get going, if you haven't subscribed and you've been watching my videos and they help you out, maybe hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. Anyways, I got some good news for you guys. I know we've been talking about some fall weather potentially getting here late next week, but we might get a taste of it here a little bit this weekend. Not next weekend, but this weekend. So check it out here. Dew points are going to be listed at the top graphic. Temperatures are on the bottom graphic. Keep in mind, dew points aren't the temperatures. So dew points is basically a measure of humidity in a nutshell. So if you got dew points in the 60s, it's kind of humid. 50s, you're starting to get that crisp air, and anything lower than that is just dry air. So this is for mid-morning Saturday, around morning time. It's already warm. Temperatures are in the upper 70s. Throughout most of the Carolinas, but you have some dry air in North Carolina. If you see it in the blue, that is filtering in from the north. So that is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to watch this as we get closer. As we get to the next frame here, this is getting into later in the day, Saturday afternoon. As you notice in South Carolina, the temperatures warm up significantly into the 90s, so it's going to be a warm day Saturday. But if you look at the top graphic of the dew points, you've got drier air, dew points in the 50s and even 40s, working its way into the northwestern part of the state. You might notice it goes from humid Saturday morning to not quite as humid as you get later into the day Saturday, and that's because drier air is going to be filtering from the northeast. It's going to be a CAD situation, cold air damming wedge. It's just some dry air gets trapped east of the mountains. So as we're working away, you get later into the day Saturday evening, the bluish, that's dew points in the 50s and 40s, starts to make it deeper into the Carolinas. In the Midlands, you're still kind of humid, but the dew points are steadily dropping. This isn't pinpoint accurate, but it's a good gauge. The dew points are going to be dropping. So we get overnight into Saturday into Sunday. The dew points are basically, it feels great in half the state. The other half of the state is still under some humidity, and the same in North Carolina too. So that's a classic wedge signature here. And it's kind of wedge and it's kind of not, because there is some dry air more out west too. But anyways, check it out. Dew points in the 50s. But as we get going into our Sunday morning, this says Sunday morning temperatures here in the Midlands, for example, are only in the low 70s. But I do think they have a chance to be lower into the upper 60s. But regardless, more dry air is filtering the state. Dew points in the 50s, guys. That's what you want to feel with the fall. You get dew points in the 50s, and even when it's 80 degrees, it still does not feel bad at all. There's no humidity. So you start to get deeper into today, into Sunday, and really deep dry air, if that makes any sense, really works its way almost into the entire Carolinas, the entire state. Dew points may nip the upper 40s, and this is the European model. So you got temperatures Sunday, yeah, they're in the 80s to upper 80s, maybe closing in on 90, but you got dew points around 50. So man, it don't feel that bad at all. And look at North Carolina, you got temperatures only in the low 80s, so it doesn't feel bad really at all. But what really comes is when you start to get into Sunday evening. I really think Sunday evening is going to be a perfect time to take a walk. You'll finally be able to go outside, walk the dog in the evening, and maybe just play outside, because the humidity is going to be low and the temperatures are going to be starting to dip back into the low 80s, into the upper 70s. And maybe even a little cooler as you get into other parts of the state. So it's definitely going to be very comfortable Sunday evening. It's going to be a time to really get out and to enjoy the actual weather. So you get overnight, and this is where I think we have a chance to really cool down into Sunday night into Monday. So this is when I really think that a lot of the Carolinas, even in the South Carolina, deep in the South Carolina, can start to see some widespread 60s. Finally get below 70 degrees for the first time in a while around here. And it really, in the northwestern part of the state, you really have a chance to maybe nip below 60. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I do think there will be a solid chance at somebody in the northwestern part of the state to nip below 60 degrees. So check it out. Monday morning, you have plenty of dry air still around if we're going off the European model. So Midlands of South Carolina, it could easily get down to the mid 60s. It's going to feel great with dew points in the 50s. That doesn't sound, you're like, oh man, that's not too cold. I want some 50s for lows. But take what you can get this time of the year, I'm telling you. And I really think that even places in the upstate, the Midlands, even a little bit more south, have a chance to really get into the mid to low 60s, especially out in the country areas. So it's going to feel great. I think it's going to be our first kind of taste of fall. It will start to warm right back up, but as you get into Monday later in the day, temperatures still nothing like they are right now, where you're getting them into the upper 90s. But I do think we'll start to climb back into the upper 80s, near 90. But there's still, I think, you'll start to get some moist air start to really move in, especially the coastal areas will not be really dry anymore, and I think the dry air will begin to work its way out the region. And as you can tell, I think Monday evening would still be a really nice evening for parts of the state, but I think a lot of humidity will begin to rebuild back into the state, into the Carolinas and things like that. So enjoy Lake this weekend. I really think there's going to be some nice weather, and just take what you can get. It's not going to be highs in the 70s. Parts of North Carolina might be, but South Carolina, I don't think you're going to see highs in the 70s or anything and lows in the 50s. It's not that kind of fall weather, but we are getting closer, guys. So take what you can get. And as always, I appreciate y'all watching, and have a blessed night.